fishing. I'm on a mission. It's so pretty, I'd sure hate to waste this chance. We'll find us a shady little spot, not too cool, not too high. Perfect for a little fishing and romance. Oh yes. There's nothing so inviting, nothing quite as exciting as a little fishing when they're biting. Let's go fishing.
Morning, boys and girls. I'm going to try, I was watching a young man on YouTube and how he puts these urchins or space balls or whatever you want to call them. And I've got this one, which is made by Yumamoto. And I also got some off the wall stuff. I'm supposed to be having a mold come in where I can make my own, which is good. I've been catching a few fish on them, but I just got these, just ordered different. These are smaller ones, and those are smaller ones there. Size more to my taste when I'm using an ultralight, and they just come in a package like that. But most of these you can't mix up with other plastics because it'll have a chemical reaction and it'll just melt. See how small that one is there? You know. And then I got another bag here. I think they're about the right same size. I got from different places. I just started ordering them, started looking at them. Some of them you can get like for $6, and other of them's $20. And it looks about the same right there. But guys are making them themselves and selling them, you know, online. But I seen where a guy was taking a frog hook, and this is what he was doing. He was putting a piece of heat wrap around that, and then putting a weight in there, and putting a worm rattle in there. And because of course I'm just using lead, but he was using expensive stuff. So what he was doing was he had taken his taking the heat wrap, and he was putting it around put that right up there on top of my tri-lane. All right, you take your shrink wrap here, guys, and you slide this down over your hook like that right there, and you cut this off about where you want that eye sticking out, about right there, right in there. All right, slide this up a little bit here. Okay, then and just cut that off square like that. Okay, there you got your shrink wrap, guys. You got your shrink wrap right there, and you slide that down on there like that. And then you take your rattle right here. Take that rattle right there and you slide that down in there on the front side. Just kind of slide it down in there. Slide it down there, get down in there as far as you can, guys. Push it down in there. Let's see. Take that nail and just kind of shove it on down in there a little bit. There we go. Shove that down. All right, you got your rattle in there. Got your rattle in there. And you take your nail, put it right in the back, slide it down too. It's hard right there. Slide it down in there like so. Just keep sliding, it'll go. Just kind of watch you don't stick yourself with the hook. Just keep pushing, it'll go. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, there we go. All right, then you got your rattle and you got your weight in there, okay? Then you take a match, of course, your shrink wrap, get you a match or a little torch, whatever you got on it handy, and you tighten everything down, okay? All right, we'll put this, I'm going to put this on my hook holder here when I tie my flies with. Put that right on there like that. Right there. Just tighten that down right like that. Okay, now I've got the heat wrap on there, got that. Now we're going to snug it down tight. Don't want to get that hook too hot. Okay, now then, you got everything tight on there, okay? And you take your space ball. See, I got a hole right there in that. Take your space ball, and you take, I already got a nail in there, so I take that nail out of there. You take a drill bit, kind of make that hole just a little bit bigger. Just, you know, it'll just make it a little bit bigger. Just kind of take that and kind of twist that around there a little bit. Take it all the way through there. Ain't gonna hurt nothing, just keep pushing it. Kind of screw it a little bit, that'll make that hole a little bit bigger. Just keep screwing it like that, right there. Not quite there, she come through. Got that drill bit through there. See how I got that drill bit through there? That just makes that hole just a little bit bigger. And this, once you get this on here, I'll show you, it'll last. This will last forever. I mean, it'll outlast. So you can use whatever for the lubrication to try to help get this in there. But I'm just going to use just a tab of Vaseline to shove that in there with, and so right there you got it on the drill bit. Okay, now let's just. There we go. Now I'm just going to put just a dab of Vaseline on there. Just kind of help this thing kind of lubricate this a little bit so it'll go down in there. Put it all the way around it like that. Okay. There we go. And find your hole. Very important that you find your hole. And because you gotta make a, just like anything else, you gotta make a hole in it. There you go, guys. You get two hooks sticking out, and it's pretty compact, and it'll last forever. This stuff's like the, it's you know, but yeah, just throw it out there and twitch it, twitch, and yeah, that's. I put the yellow on there so you could see it, so you can see the wrap there. But you can take magic marker and black hand off if you want to, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. But yeah, that's the latest and the greatest, guys, right there. The latest and greatest. I've been throwing it on trilene big game, 12 to 17 pound test. Depends on how, you know, it depends on how thick the stuff is. And I've been catching fish on it, which I'm going to fish it today, this morning, and we'll see how we do. Also, this is something else I've been doing. I'm not sure if I showed you all this or not, but you need to try one of these. Get one of them and try it. And you can also just take a treble hook and hook through the side of it. But the hook ratio on this type right here is so much better, you know. So anyhow, this is what else I've been doing. I'll show you. I think I've showed you before, but I'm going to show you again. They're in the reeds right now. They're in the grass a little bit, but they're in the reeds also. So you got to be weedless, and the bait is so small this year here on Lake Okeechobee. I took a Panther Martin. It's an inline spinner. Took an inline spinner, and I always put a little bit of tubing right up here, guys. That keeps that line. Line has a tendency to get it wrapped down around this blade, and then you got to fool with it. And I'm using this. Again, I'm using this Z-Man baits right there, and I'm making it weedless. But this will come right through that grass. I don't care how thick it is. This thing will come right through that grass, and all you got to do is just put that up there weedless, and once it grabs it, you got it. You know. And I put just a little bit of this is a weedless hook. It's just wide gap hook. I put a little bit on top there, so that don't keep pulling down. You know me, I put a little bit of super glue. I just put a little bit of super glue right on top of that hook right there. And it seems like that helps. But this plastic helps keep it from getting wrapped, and it don't matter about that on there. They'll still grab hold of it because it's, you know, you're right in the thick of stuff. They can't. All they see is a reaction, and they see something to eat right there. So that's something else to try. Panther Martin, guys, inline spinners. Meps and Panther Martin been making these since the '60s. If you ever remember the old Meps when they had the mini on the back of it you could buy, you know, they've been making it forever. But yeah, right there, you can get all different sizes of this Panther Martin. But you can take a spinner if it's got the well, this one doesn't. But if you could take a spinner and cut the treble hook off of it and just put a wide gap hook on there and do the same thing, you know, do the same thing. Just, you know, inline spinner. Inline, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to make everything just as compact as I can down here because the fishing's really tough and the fish are holding out in thick grass. But it's only a foot deep. It's only a foot deep, so yeah, there's what also. So I'm going to try that this morning, guys. We'll see how we do. Give it a try and see how we do. But yeah, sea urchin, space ball, whatever, frog hook, guys, frog hook. And just a little bit, you can't do this out in the water. You have to do it at home, get it set up like it's at home. But throw it out there and just let it sink down and twitch it and let it sink down. So we'll see how we do with it this morning. And like I said, everybody's making them, all different sizes. You know, here's this one's, this is here made by Yamamoto, and they're expensive. You don't want to lose them. So there, get you some trilene line, big game line, 12 to 16, 17 pound test. Give it a try. Over and out.